You're this perp back with another video. Just got done checking out this documentary called The Last Blockbuster. Man, Netflix ain't shit for putting this out, bro. But this was definitely worth a watch. If you know nothing about Blockbuster or the history of Blockbuster, definitely watch this movie. Especially for the younger generation that, grew up with Netflix. I think you guys will also find this really intriguing. Me, being a kid that grew up in the 90s and was able to experience Blockbuster, it was bringing back memories. It's all blurred to me right now. Like, I can tell you my first movie that I ever rented. I could kind of somewhat remember certain movies. It's very vague, but I remember always getting like Sega Genesis games, Super Nintendo games. I always remember renting stuff from there. I remember they showed a commercial in here where they promoted no late fees. I remember that. But that aside, this documentary is about the last Blockbuster. Well, the first half of it is mainly just catching you up with the history of Blockbuster and its downfall, its rise and its fall. Also, they kind of touch on the whole situation where Blockbuster had an opportunity to buy out Netflix, but they didn't, which, could you imagine? Instead of having Netflix right now, it was Blockbuster streaming. That should have been weird, but I guess it worked out for Netflix in the long run. And that just goes to show you that Blockbuster was like a end of an era, a very special era. And we're in this streaming era where, Blockbuster and Netflix were competing in a very similar fashion. But obviously you saw that Netflix is the last person standing, and I think it's going to be the same way with streaming, but I think streaming can last a little bit longer just because it's digital. We will have to just see how streaming goes for the next 10 years, 20 years from now. I think it'll still be a thing. But going back to this Blockbuster, man, shouts to, drawing a blank on the whole chick's name. Her name's Sandy. She's like the general manager. The way she just is dedicated to just the upkeep and going out to like Walmarts or Targets to buy new releases it's just crazy, man. It's really inspiring that, they've been around this long, and to see them still standing it's really impressive. Now, do I see this last Blockbuster lasting another 10 years? Possibly not, which is sad. But it's the unfortunate future that we live in. Everything's digital. You also have a few actors that might be familiar to you, kind of giving you their story and, their experiences with Blockbuster. You also have, this one guy that's a regular at this Blockbuster. His story was pretty cool. I like that little skit. They have little skits in between this documentary. It's really interesting. But like I said, if you're into documentaries, and this is definitely a documentary I would say is worth checking out. Definitely to get the kind of like backstory on Blockbuster itself. It's very fascinating. I'm surprised they haven't made a movie about Blockbuster yet, but they do have this documentary, which is good enough for right now, but who's to say in the future they won't come out with a movie. But it just goes to show you, man, like how fast times are changing, and it's dope to see that this last Blockbuster is still alive and kicking. But yeah, definitely go check this out on Netflix right now. If you have seen this, let me know in the comments below how you feel about it. Also, let me know if you have rented from a Blockbuster. Can you remember your first movie that you've ever rented, or one of your favorite movies that you've always liked to rent? But that's my quick little take on this documentary. Till next time, I'll see you later. Peace.